I'm extremely sorry. Good morning. I'm extremely sorry that we had to wait so long, because I really think that we could have, managed with, less, tight restrictions a month ago when we appealed for the government to do, things like that. Right now, lockdown is really a catastrophe, I think, honestly. We are seeing a real spike in cases. I won't be surprised if within a few days we reach a 5-digit number of daily cases. And I think that it's becoming unavoidable, especially as, several hospitals have raised a red flag. It's not like, they're collapsing. We are far from that, but still, they are trying to tell us that, things are not going to get better if we don't do anything, or if we, leave the things as they are right now.
In terms of that critical indicator, the hospitals, how are they managing with this? They're reporting now, yes, they're filling to capacity in many of the main hospitals, and that the patients in critical condition, or at least in bad condition, are getting younger to some degree as well. Are there, now with this new mutant strain apparently detected across the country, how concerned are you from those reports?
I am concerned regarding what we call the British mutation, because it can, transmit. The rate of transmission is very high from what we know. We are aware of something like a few hundred cases right now in Israel, and this is only what we have discovered. So it is spreading. The good news so far, what we know, is that it's not more, I would say, problematic, in terms of pathology and disease than the original strain. That's what we believe. This is our assumption. But still, that means that the disease is spreading. I'm more concerned about the South African strain variant, which is not in Israel right now, as far as we know. But, from what we know, it could be more problematic.
Now, along those lines, and the concern around these new variants, multiple mutations now, from what you're seeing, are the borders being controlled enough? Should there be tighter border controls? And on the vaccine as well, is it thought to be good as well against these two mutations?
So we have no information right now regarding the efficacy of the vaccines against those variants. Our basic assumption is that it will be, efficient. The vaccine will be efficient against the British mutation. Regarding the South African mutation, we have some hints that it might not be the case, but it's really too early, and I don't want to alarm the public. It's really too early to tell. Right now, several experiments are conducted around the world to determine if a person that got the vaccine is also immune to those new strains. It's going to take a few more weeks.
Excuse me, and I want to get your thought about one of these things being thrown around here, an idea about, as we're facing some vaccine shortages, I know you're in the mix on this discussion here now, the idea of spacing out the first dose and second dose, does that make more sense to you than just halting even doses for a wide swath of the population? Which option right now seems to be the better track to moving forward as supplies are getting slim?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not a proponent of spacing the vaccines, because we have no, I would say, a solid information and data about what it can do. I mean, it can work, but also it might not be as efficient as the protocol, the original protocol. So I'm a little bit skeptical about that strategy. I can understand it. I'm not saying that it's not a valid strategy, but I want to stick, especially at the time when we're talking about emergency, I want to stick to the original protocol. I mean, I guess we're going to get some answers also from the UK, because they're experimenting, and that's the word, experimenting on this. But again, I think that at this stage, especially in Israel, where we have reached almost, I would say, 70%, 80% of the population at risk that is already vaccinated, I think it would be taking a risk that I don't think is warranted right now.